Thank you for joining us today. I'm C.T. Turner, Senior Director of Public Affairs and Government Relations here at GED Testing Service. As many of you know, the GED test will be changing next year into a comprehensive start-to-finish program. It will help adults without a high school diploma gain the skills and knowledge to succeed in today's workplace. We're excited to preview some of the cutting-edge technology of the new program for you today. We'll also have time for your questions at the end of the presentation. Today you'll also be hearing from GED Testing Service President Randy Trask, Senior Marketing Manager Cassandra Brown, and GED graduate Leanne Scott. Now I'd like to turn things over to Randy Trask, President of GED Testing Service.
Thank you, CT, and thanks to each of you for taking time from your busy schedules to join us for this call. Our nation is facing a national crisis. Nearly 4 million jobs in America today are unfilled simply because there aren't enough skilled workers to fill them. Most of these jobs require some college or training beyond high school. Meanwhile, there are 40 million adults without a high school diploma. 40 million American adults. That's an alarming number. These adults lack the skills and knowledge necessary to succeed in today's job market. They're often ill-prepared to even enter an industry training program. Instead, they find themselves competing for the shrinking number of low-skilled, low-paid jobs. These workers are the first to be affected by an economic downturn because they are in jobs most vulnerable to elimination. This dilemma impacts every community in America, but more importantly, it's devastating to the millions of adults who want to fulfill the American dream of a better life for themselves and their families. It perpetuates generational poverty, and it puts tremendous stress on taxpayer-funded safety nets. Did you know, for example, that 85% of children who live in low-income families have parents with less than a high school diploma? Or that Americans without a high school credential are twice as likely to end up in state prisons? We need to give these adults and their families a fighting chance. We need to give them the tools, the resources, and the knowledge to help them obtain their second chance at a high school credential. We need to help them get a good job with good wages and one that is far less likely to disappear. It's why we've built a new program from the ground up with input from leading educators, state and national education officials, employers, and of course GED graduates. In 2014, the new GED program will hold up to today's tech-savvy world. It will live up to the expectations of employers, colleges, and the millions of adults who have been relying on us for more than 70 years to prepare them for good jobs with good wages. We are fundamentally shifting our focus to completely center on the adult learner. We do this by giving adults not just a test, but a comprehensive start-to-finish program that ensures they have the tools and support they need to take the next critical step in their lives. The 2014 GED program is the only high school equivalency program that gives the test taker everything he or she needs for success. It more quickly moves adults into college, jobs, and better wages. It ensures adults are prepared for college and career training programs. It incorporates digital skills for today's digital world. And it awards a credential respected by employers and colleges. This comprehensive approach is what adult learners need. It's what they deserve. Cassandra Brown, our Senior Manager of Marketing for the Testing Service, will walk us through the innovations we've introduced to customize each adult learner's experience so they can begin to realize their full potential. Over to you, Cassandra.
Thanks, Randy. Now let's take a look at the 2014 GED program. Do keep in mind that this is a beta version, and it will be further refined before our launch. Now, in order to fully understand the impact of the new program, you really have to understand the current student experience. So as I walk through this, we're going to take a quick look at the experience today and then talk about the innovations for 2014. The first innovation we focused on for the 2014 program is the development of greater support systems for students before and after the test. I'm going to show you 3 specific ways that students can do more than just take a test in 2014. Because remember, it's not just about the test, it's about the test taker. Today, nearly half of GED test takers don't attend an adult education class before testing. This also means they don't take an official practice test, one of the best ways for students to practice and earn higher scores. Students may not attend GED classes because they don't know that they're available, or because the wait lists which have worsened in recent years. Sometimes it's just because they want to avoid revisiting the schools where they already had difficult experiences. Other times, they just can't make it during scheduled days and times. But whatever the reason, this means that 350,000 students each year don't have access to the personal feedback and support that they need to prepare for the GED test, much less to transition to college and career training programs. To help all adult students get the study support they need, our first new feature of the 2014 program is an online portal called MyGED. MyGED is at the heart of the student experience, and it operates as their hub for everything GED related. When a student visits the study section, they can find a personal study tool. This is tailored to their preferences so that they can study for the test at home. There's also a section where they can learn about local in-person study programs, and they can get connected with adult educators in these programs. Students can also take the official practice test, GED Ready, to see exactly what the real test will be like and to find out if they're ready for the real thing. In 2014, practice questions have the exact same look and feel as the real test, and it's delivered on computer. This means that all students can practice with the technology and with the content to know exactly what to expect and to walk in prepared for test day. Another area we focused on to help students after the test is in their scores. Today, the student could wait 4 to 8 weeks to find out their scores from the test. This means 4 to 8 weeks of anxiety and 4 to 8 weeks before they can move on to the next step, whether that's applying for a job or just scheduling their next test. When they do finally receive their scores, it's really not much more than a number and an indication of whether they passed or they failed. If a student does fail, they don't receive feedback on what the score means or where they should improve to score higher. And for students who have already experienced failure, this can make them feel even worse, since there's really no clear path to improvement. This is the main reason that 85% of students who fail a test never return to retake that failed test. In 2014, everything is faster and easier. Students get their score report the very same day on MyGED. They can even check their scores on a smartphone on the way home from the test. The new score report tells students if they earn the GED credential right away. They'll also get information about if they earned the GED with Honors score, our new college and career readiness level. In addition to same-day access and score information, for the very first time, every single student gets a detailed score report telling them about the skills that he or she needs to work on to score higher. This also comes with targeted recommendations about which sections to study in the books and online courses available from more than 15 test preparation providers. With MyGED and the new enhanced score report, students and educators have access to the personalized guidance they need to target remediation and preparation so everyone wins. Students are more motivated and engaged because they have an actionable study plan, and educators can more quickly target certain areas for skill development. Research showed that even after the scores come in, though, there's still a lot of work to be done. Currently, when a student passes the test, they might receive a small scholarship and some guidance from the adult education office, but most students don't really know what to do next. In fact, we found that many GED graduates don't even know that college is possible for them. Many GED preparation programs are built and funded around passing the test, and the support ends there. Graduates find themselves alone again as they attempt to earn college credit and apply for better jobs. In 2014, we begin the conversation about further education and jobs as soon as a student logs into MyGED. We want students to start thinking about college and careers way before they take the GED test. Here in the college and career section, students get the help they need to figure out life after the test. They can find links to information about jobs and training that they can qualify for right after passing the test. Or they can learn about career pathways that lead to the type of salary and type of job that they want. They can also learn about the college application process and how to apply for financial aid. Or if they're not sure where to start, they can take a skills assessment and learn more about what career might be right for them. Our research has shown that students are better engaged if they have an end goal in mind and a path for how to get there. So we've made this part of the MyGED experience to both keep students engaged in the program and to remind them that the test is not the end point. It's just the springboard to so much more. The second major innovation we did in the 2014 program is to make the testing process simpler and to speed up the transition to those opportunities after the test. Before a student can take the GED test, they have to schedule. And the GED test is currently made up of 5 subjects, and it takes roughly 7 hours to test. In many places, scheduling involves calling multiple centers during their business hours to find out when they're open and then what subject they offer on what days. This means students may have to wait more than a month in some places to find a slot where they can take the test they want on the day that they want to take it. This involves taking multiple days off from work so they can go into a center, sign up, schedule, and then take the test. The process really isn't flexible, and students are losing time and money trying to figure out this complicated process. Given that many of our students are juggling families and jobs, they needed a process that's designed around their schedule. In 2014, we've done exactly that. The 2014 program simplifies this entire scheduling process. A student can schedule from home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in just minutes with MyGED. A student will have information about every testing center in their area so they can compare schedules at different centers to find a day and time that best fits their schedule. And as you can see, the student decides what test to take and when to take it. This way, they can fit it in amidst work schedules and childcare needs and feel prepared for the test every single time. When scheduling is quicker and easier, the student can focus on what really matters, and that's passing the test. Research shows that the current GED test and the current GED process really isn't doing enough to set graduates up with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in today's workforce. High school curriculum is changing, fewer low-skilled jobs are available every day, and employers are looking for applicants with at least a certificate or 2-year degree. In 2014, graduates will be prepared. The 2014 test is designed to measure more critical thinking and problem-solving skills requested by employers and colleges. It also requires students to demonstrate basic computer skills, the same skills now considered fundamental to basic literacy and to applying for most jobs. It's also the only test fully aligned with the career and college readiness standards recommended by the U.S. Department of Education. Students can more easily qualify for those certificate programs and jobs when they have these skills and when they present employers and colleges with their SMART transcript, another new feature built into the 2014 program. You see, most employers, colleges, and military decision makers can relate to a high school graduate, but they don't have the same level of information about what's covered on the GED test and what skills a GED graduate has. The SMART transcript changes all of that. In 2014, students can use the SMART transcript, which has links to detailed information about the content that was actually tested on the GED test, and it explains what the scores mean. This effectively levels the playing field for all GED graduates. The third way we made the testing process simpler and easier is in the test itself. Paper-based testing has been in use for 70 years, and many students probably thought that it's just the way it had to be. They had to bubble in their personal information, double-check that they filled in the right part of the answer sheet for the right part of the test, and hope that scorers could read their handwriting. Students told us that managing all the papers during the test was stressful. And during a test, the last thing a student needs is more stress. The 2014 GED test is delivered by computer, so everything is in one place for the student, and the experience is consistent coast to coast. In fact, many of the innovations we're showing you today wouldn't even be possible if the test wasn't delivered on computer. To date, more than 200,000 computer-based GED tests have been delivered, and students love the personal and flexible experience it offers them. It's designed around what works for the student, and we're seeing an 88% pass rate for those who tested on computer versus just 71% for those testing on paper. In addition, we're seeing a 60% increase in the number of folks who return to retake a failed test. That means they're not just less stressed during the test, they're more confident to return and give it another try. The third and final innovation that we're going to talk about today for the 2014 program is that we've built the first ever real-time data system for state educators working in GED programs. Today, educators have limited access to data, and it's provided in a mostly static format. And while the current model might meet basic reporting needs, it really doesn't help with important decisions that will improve educator effectiveness and student results. We're using the benefits offered by computer-based testing to change all that. In 2014, GED Analytics, another feature of the 2014 program, gives adults unprecedented access to real-time data. They can make custom reports to track the needs of their state's program and use these data to make better informed decisions for improved student outcomes. For example, here in GED Analytics, an educator can see how many students have yet to pass math, a challenging subject for many students. An educator can click on the information for those 77 students yet to pass math and get a list of their names and email addresses, and then immediately send them notification of a targeted math tutoring session that might be offered down at the local adult education center. Such innovative approaches will improve student engagement and completion rates for the student and the program. Through the power of GED Analytics, we can also use data to match students with career and college programs that align to their skills and interests and help them move on to jobs where they will succeed. As you can see, we've done something revolutionary here. We've built the first and only high school equivalency program that focuses on the test taker and not the testing process alone. We've designed it from the ground up to improve student outcomes on the GED test and on what matters most, their transition to better jobs and better wages. the 2014 GED program has built in greater support for the student needs before and after the test. It uses cutting-edge technology to make the testing process simpler and the transition to post-test opportunities quicker for all students. And it offers the first ever real-time data system for state educators to improve student outcomes and customize education for each student. Together, these innovations make up the new start-to-finish GED program that will help millions of Americans reach their dreams. Now, I'd like to introduce one such person who did reach her dreams through the GED test. Leanne?
Hi, my name is Leanne Scott. I earned my GED credential in Illinois in the 1970s, and at the time I was a single mother working 2 jobs and struggling to make ends meet, plus finding the time to finish my GED. It was hard work, but within a year I had completed the program and passed the test. I enrolled in community college and then a 4-year university, but I learned right away that college coursework was tougher than I expected or was ready for. There were many references to things I didn't learn in my GED studies. It frequently sent me scurrying to the library for extra reading material just so I could understand lectures. The textbooks were filled with words I'd never seen before. I kept a dictionary within reach at all times and a spiral notebook for new words related to my studies. After struggling through college, I went on to become a social worker and later an educator. I look at the changes to the GED program and I think what a difference the new program would have made for me in my own studies. And I'm not just talking about aligning it to college and career readiness standards to make sure GED graduates don't experience the same difficult transition that I had. I'm talking about the countless features they've included to make preparation, testing, and the transition to college or a job as easy and accessible as possible. I was so excited to read about the new test moving to the computer. I still remember exactly the day I took my kids to the library and discovered all the card catalogs were being destroyed as they shifted to a computerized system. I had no idea how to even turn a computer on. Fortunately, they offered free classes and I was able to learn the basic computer skills I needed. I cannot imagine trying to get along without those skills today. The new GED program is the only fighting chance for people who strive for better jobs, better wages to support their families, and a continuing education. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. I started a conversation talking about the 40 million Americans who don't have a high school diploma. We talked about the 4 million open jobs and how even those with a diploma or GED often lack the skills and knowledge to enter and complete college and career training programs. For the past 70 years, we've done a number of upgrades, and each time it was to the test. This is the first time we've dramatically shifted our approach, focusing on the student and not simply the test. And we believe this is a better approach. The 2014 GED program is the only high school equivalency program that gives the test taker everything he or she needs for success. It more quickly moves adults into college, jobs, and better wages. It ensures adults are prepared for college and career training programs. It incorporates digital skills for today's digital world. And it awards a credential respected by colleges and employers. Nobody knows adult learners like we do, and we're very excited to offer this easier and more supportive experience for adult learners through the 2014 GED program. Back to you, CT.
Thank you, Randy, Cassandra, and Leanne. We'll now end the recording and open up the call for your questions.